In this lesson, we are going to be discussing all the elements of the food label, including fats, sodium, and sugar. The first item on any food label is fats. You have saturated fats and trans fats, which are both bad, and polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats, which are good. Let's talk about the worst fat for you, which is trans fat, and that is artificially made and found in products like margarine and shortening. Lots of products have trans fat in it, but it doesn't say so on the label. The label says 0% because the serving size is so low that the amount of trans fat in each serving size is less than 0.5%. Therefore, the food makers can put 0 on the label. So you have to look for the words partially hydrogenated oil in the list of ingredients. And then you know that it has trans fat in it. And that's an item that you should completely avoid. On the other hand, fully hydrogenated oils mean that it's saturated fats, and it's man-made saturated fats. Items like certain peanut butters that have the words fully hydrogenated vegetable oils in it, you know that this isn't pure peanut butter, and it has those saturated fats in it. And again, if we look at the product label, it has 3.5 grams of saturated fat. That is a lot in just 2 tablespoons for a serving size. So you want to make sure that you get peanut butter that is all natural. So saturated fats sometimes are found in nature, and these saturated fats don't harm our bodies. So a good example of that is coconut oil. In fact, coconut oil has been known to increase our cognitive function. So this is a great fat that I like to use when I'm sauteing on the skillet or doing any type of medium heat. And I always look for the unrefined coconut oil because that maintains the health benefits of the coconut oil. Another healthy product that I like to use is olive oil. Now, when it comes to olive oils, not all of them are created equally. In fact, there are a lot of fake olive oils on the market, and you have to research brands of olive oils to know which ones are real and which ones are fake. And lastly, I like to use butter. I am not afraid of butter. Butter is actually a much better choice than margarine, and it gives the food so much great flavor. So when it comes to healthy cooking, I use coconut oil, olive oil, and butter. The next item listed on the food label is sodium. I like to use coarse salt because it gives you more salty flavor for less amount of sodium. Another great item is sea salt. Like your olive oil, if you're going with sea salt, you want to buy a premium product because most of the sea salts in the regular grocery store are going to have the healthy minerals stripped from them that's going to be maintained in those premium products. The next item on the food label is sugar, and sugar is very detrimental to our bodies, and it's addictive. Sugar I use for baking sweets is usually just a simple cane sugar. But if I want to be healthier with it, I'm going to choose a local honey or a pure maple syrup. Now, if you're going with maple syrup, you want to see the words 100% pure, because otherwise it may have corn syrup in it. The best way to check is to read the back of the label with the list of ingredients, and all it should list is maple syrup. The reason why I like local honey is because most of the honeys in the grocery stores actually contain corn syrup, but they just don't list them on the ingredients label. So the question is, how do you know which products in the grocery stores are real and which ones are fake if all the ingredients aren't listed on the food label and if the olive oils aren't real olive oils? Well, the answer to that is you just have to know. Therefore, I make it my job to tell you what you need to know. Honey and olive oil. Those are the 2 products that I found to be the most deceptive in the grocery stores. Lastly, my favorite sweetener of all time is stevia. Stevia is super sweet, and it really cuts down on the amount of sugars that your body intakes. However, there are some products on the market that are marketed as stevia, but really the first ingredient is dextrose, which is corn sugar. If you go with the liquid kind of stevia, then most of those products are pure. And the best way is just to read the list of ingredients again on the food label. And foods in the ingredients list are listed in terms of quantity. So the most prevalent ingredient is going to be first. Now let's talk about fiber. Sometimes food labels break it down into insoluble fiber and soluble fiber, but both are equally healthy for us and essential to our digestive needs. When it comes to fiber, you just want to make sure that the amount of fiber is on par with the amount of carbohydrates in your food. So for example, pretzels are very high carb but very low in fiber. If a product has only 1 to 2 grams of fiber in a high carb food, then you know it's not the healthiest choice for you. When a product is low in fiber and high in carbohydrates, it means it's a simple carb. And what happens to simple carbs in our bodies is that as soon as it's ingested, we get a peak of energy as it rapidly converts to sugar, and then we crash. And this sugar is stored in our bodies as fat cells. Therefore, your healthier chip alternative, pretzels, are then converted to fat in our bodies. When it comes to carbohydrates, you want to make all of them complex carbs. So when you're comparing foods, applesauce or any type of derivative of a fruit is going to be a simple carbohydrates, whereas the whole piece of fruit is going to be a complex carbohydrate and it's going to be high in fiber. Fiber is very important to us for making us feel full, and it helps flush out our digestive system. Another product that's deceptive in the grocery store are whole grains. You want to make sure that you choose a bread that is 100% whole wheat. Sometimes breads are just labeled wheat bread, and when it's not whole wheat bread, then you know that the bread also contains refined flours that are simple carbs. The grocery store is full of marketing pitfalls. The best way to avoid them is just to look at the list of ingredients. You should know what's in your food and understand what this food is made of. Your homework assignment is to look at your pantry and your refrigerator and your freezer and check out all of the list of ingredients in your foods. Then take a laundry basket and put all the unhealthy foods in there. If you have kids, it's very important that you involve them in this homework assignment because then they will know and understand why you're making these dietary changes. The next several videos, we will show you what to replace these unhealthy foods with.